Wow, you really want to see how beautiful it is to drive in the morning. It is 5:07 in the morning and it is snowing like crazy. The streets are not even plowed. There are two plow trucks driving right in front of me right now. This is ridiculous. This is how pathetic, Chicago's gotten. I remember when Daley was mayor. As soon as it started snowing, man, he jumped on it. He didn't play. When it came to snow, man, he had his trucks out there already cleaning the streets. But now, this is ridiculous, man. This is crazy. I can't believe this, man. I knew this was going to happen. Well, what's up, guys? Fast Jimmy 71, man. Going to work. This is just a little taste of what's going on and what I have to deal with when I go to work in the morning. Yeah, it is 5:07. Well, it's about 5:06 now. 5:08. Usually I'm out of the house by at least 4:50 in the morning. To give myself a good enough time to get to work, in case of an emergency, like, I got to deal with stuff like this, People forget how to drive, People forget how to drive when this kind of stuff happens, They start driving either too fast or they start driving too slow, If you're, born and bred in the Chi, once you drive, you got to be very aggressive when you're a driver in Chicago, because this is, for anybody that wants to get into a car and say, yeah, hey, let's go do it, for weather like this, you got to be very aggressive, man. You got to drive good and you got to be very, very cautious at the same time, but you got to be a good driver. And this ain't for just for any small Joe, that wants to get into a car and say, hey, let's go drive in the snow. Yeah, whatever. You gotta be a damn good driver when you gotta drive in this crap. I've seen myself being in many spinouts. Many spinouts. I'm drinking my coffee here. I drove into Dunkin' Donuts this morning because I usually bring a cup of coffee from my house, but by the time I get to work, because it takes me, in this kind of crappy weather, it takes me about 45 minutes to almost an hour just to get to my house to my job, and when it's clear, it only takes me like 20 minutes. So you can imagine how the time difference, when it's weather like this. So I figured, well, let me buy me an extra cup of coffee, have it with me at work, when I'm doing my thing. And, I pull up to the drive-thru, and the drive-thru's packed, and I made my order, and I'm still waiting. There's like 3 cars ahead of me, and nobody's doing anything. Nobody's moving. I'm like, you know what? Forget this, man. I left. I placed my order and I left. Like, you know what? Forget y'all, man. Give the coffee to somebody else. I'm not gonna deal with that. I'm not gonna deal with that. It's a drive-through. A drive-through supposed to be where you get your things quick, man. You don't have to sit there and wait. That's why they made drive-throughs. To make it convenient for people, And it's very inconvenient. McDonald's is one, man. I can't stand McDonald's, And then they screw up your order at the same time. So, they're either crappy in the drive-thru, and they get your orders wrong, That's not even right. And it happens to me all the time. And every time I go back to the McDonald's, I complain to them, and it don't matter. So it's like, whatever, big deal. Well, yeah, this is a taste of the Chi, man, at 5 or something in the morning. Gotta work till 2 o'clock. I work in a steel company called Temple Steel, and they make electric laminations. We make parts for Miller Welding. That's a big company, and we make, you know, all the stuff, you know, for other companies and stuff. But you know, the main one is like Miller. You know, we make all the heat conductors and stuff like that. You know, all the little components and stuff that go inside of a welder, we make. And I work in the welding department. I make, you know, I put the parts together and I send it to a welder. You know, and my hands are I can't feel my fingertips. You know, just put it that way. I can't feel my fingertips because they've actually gotten to the point, so burned to the point that I can't feel anything. Because, you know, the parts come out so hot, and we wear gloves, but the gloves that we wear, they really don't do anything. It's like wearing nothing. So, yeah, my fingertips are like numb. You know, we got to feel the parts and stuff like that to make sure that everything's good. And sometimes I got to take my gloves off, and not even that. You know, I take my gloves off and I still can't feel anything. So, yeah, that's the deal. I didn't think it was going to be snowing this much, man, but see, this is how Mother Nature is, man. This is how Chicago is, you know. People underestimate Chicago a lot, you know. They're like, oh, look at the snow, and it's like, yeah, give it some time, man. Give it some time. It'll snow, and you'll see, and look it. See? You know, you got to just give it time, man. It's going to happen. It's gonna happen. Chicago's like that, you know. One day it could be 60 degrees, the next day it could drop down to below zero, -3, -4. Yeah, just the other day it was -4 when I was going to work in the morning. There was no snow on the ground, but it was -4. So with the wind chill, it felt like about 30 to 40 below zero, man. And I'm telling you, where I work, I have to walk through a huge parking lot to get to the door of the company that I gotta work to. And man, oh man, oh man, that's open space, man. From my car to the door, that's like a whole crap load of open space. And that open space, man, it'll jack you up, man, because that wind and that cold, ooh-wee, it's like you're getting hit with tons of needles. That's how bad it is. You know, your hands freeze, your face freezes, your face feels like if they hit you with a hammer, it'll crack off. Your boogers be freezing in your face, man. It's just crazy, man. Just crazy. You know, I love the summertime, man, but I hate the winter, boy. The winter I like it because of the snow and stuff, but then it tends to get to you after a while. You know, but yeah, guys. Well, let me let you go. I don't want to get into an accident. You know, or get pulled over by 5-0. You know, 'cause these clowns are out here early in the morning trying to nab somebody. So I'll be talking to you guys. So this is Fast Jimmy 71 saying peace. And you know it's chicken grease. Laters.